I hate to sound like a broken record, wrestling fans. I really do. But I don't have anything to complain about tonight, really. There's nothing to gripe about. It seems like each and every Tuesday, I have a much lighter, happier tone. I have a harder time finding stuff on Smackdown to really pick out and gripe about because, quite frankly, they do a better job. They really do. Over on Monday Night Raw, it's so easy. Majority of it is just garbage. I think we're all in agreement with that. The one thing I will say about last night's Raw, even though they oversaturated us with Roman Reigns in almost every segment, the one good thing I will say is that we did see the Universal Championship on the television. That's the one thing I will say. But other than that, Raw, I wasn't too impressed with. But SmackDown, it's really hard to find bad stuff with it because they continue to have decent shows week in and week out. They're decent. They're passable shows. And that's all the wrestling fans ask for. We ask to be entertained with decent wrestling shows on a weekly basis. And that's what we come to see on Tuesday nights on the USA Network. If you're not an NXT fan, that is your decent show, SmackDown Live. Point blank. I have no other way to describe it to you. And this show, this week, no exception. It really didn't. It gave the superstars that it showcases each week a piece of the pie. It didn't oversaturate one particular superstar all throughout the show. It was very, very good laid out throughout the 2 hours that we saw wrestling. But this is your SmackDown Live review for August 21st, 2018. This is Webby. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for all notifications. Follow me Facebook and Twitter at 2007 Webby. Go and watch my Raw and my review of SummerSlam. The review of SummerSlam. I had Jason Funny on the show with me. And of course, Raw, I discussed the Universal Championship matchup and Braun Strowman almost cashing in, amongst other things. All that plus so much more is on the channel live for you to watch right now. It's much appreciated. We have 136 subscribers right here on the channel. Join me on this journey and help me grow this YouTube channel so it can get bigger and better for you wrestling fans, whether it's vlogs, the wrestling content I put out here for you fans, whatever. Join me so I can make it bigger and better for you fans. Now, SmackDown tonight. Daniel Bryan and the MIZ. Their epic rivalry continues. MIZ came out and was making fun of Daniel Bryan, proclaiming it was over. The 8-year saga was over. He never wanted to face Daniel Bryan again. He was not going to. What happens? Daniel Bryan comes out, says he just got done talking to Paige, and we got a mixed tag team matchup on our hands again at Hell in a Cell. Kind of taking a page after WrestleMania when it was John Cena and Nikki taking on the Miz and Maryse. This time we're seeing the Miz and Maryse taking on Daniel Bryan and Brie. But, some people might say this warrants something bigger. Here's what I have to say about it. Slow your roll, because this will get bigger and better, okay? I'm sure we'll see this again at WrestleMania. And Daniel Bryan and The Miz will go after some championship, probably the WWE championship. This is just adding an extra layer to the storyline. And it's getting Brie ready for October, because I'm sure she's going to be taking part of the Evolution pay-per-view. I'm sure of it. Not announced, but it only makes sense, So it gets her a little warmed up for that. But whatever the case, another mixed tag team matchup at Hell in a Cell. We'll see what happens. Also on Smackdown tonight, we saw the tag team championship on the line. The New Day taking on the Bludgeon Brothers. Now, this contest, WWE made it a little obvious. I'm going to be honest with you. They made it where, quite frankly, we could see it a mile away that the New Day were going to become the new tag team champions in the WWE on SmackDown Live. I mean, honestly, New Day cut a promo, stated their mascot came right here in Brooklyn. They captured the tag team championships right here in Brooklyn. All that good stuff. So, WWE, you're making it very obvious that they're going to capture the titles again right there in Brooklyn and give the fans a nice big pop to send SmackDown and the WWE away from New York. That's what you're doing. And that's what they did. The Bludgeon Brothers dropped the tag titles tonight on SmackDown. It was needed. It was needed. I'm not saying that I am not a Bludgeon Brothers fan. I was very, very high on the Bludgeon Brothers when they were being hugely pushed at WrestleMania. But once WWE kind of took the ball and dropped it off the Bludgeon Brothers, the titles meant nothing. The tag titles wasted away again. So, with that being said, New Day take the tag team championships, have rivalries with the Bar, have rivalries with the Usos, do something with the Bludgeon Brothers, make them a different package, have another rivalry with the Bludgeon Brothers, make the tag team division bright again on SmackDown Live. Do that, and it'll be fine. What else did we see tonight? Becky Lynch and Charlotte. They had a brawl. And Becky Lynch, heel turn. But she's one of these heels that everybody's going to love. WWE's going to try to push it where we're all going to hate her, and it's not going to work. But we're all just going to love it because she was needing a heel turn for such a long time, you know. And at SummerSlam, we finally got that. Charlotte comes down, and they start brawling. You know, because Becky Lynch was going over why she was turned her back on Charlotte and all this stuff. And she said, well, you fans are, you know, cheering me kind of now, but you haven't always had my back, you know, and all this stuff. Charlotte comes down. Next thing we know, all the women's division, the whole women's division comes down, and they're pulling them apart. And they kind of made it kind of like Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley over on Monday Night Raw. They made it like The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. They made it like all those, except with the women's division. Now, do I think this warrants that yet? No. Am I going to really gripe, moan, groan, and complain about it? No, I'm not. Because Becky Lynch, who really, I think in everybody's opinion, has been lowered and taken down way too many notches, really needs to be in a rivalry that is boosted and heightened with a jetpack on it to take her to the next level. So if it takes something like this, even though it's kind of cheesy to do it, to help do that, by all means, let's get the job done. Rusev Day versus Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas. Mixed tag team matchup. Seems like we're always talking about mixed tag team matches. But, you know what? They pick up the victory. Rusev Day finally has a happy Rusev Day on Smackdown Live. Good. WWE, after 5 losses, you finally pick up the victory. Peyton Royce versus Naomi. Okay. Glad you're giving some other women in the women's division a spot to shine. We usually see the Iconics on TV. We hardly ever see Naomi. But I'm glad they're getting some more time to shine in TV. AJ Styles comes out to cut a promo about what happened at SummerSlam and about how he lost his head, right? Well, he made himself a promise to his family that he would not do, you know, all this huge violent behavior. We heard that, you know, towards Samoa Joe, the steel chair shots and all that stuff. And he broke that promise. Next thing we know, Samoa Joe comes out of nowhere, drops him right down on his face, and chokes him to sleep. Coquilla clutch. Absolutely fantastic how they're pulling this rivalry off, how personal they're pulling this rivalry off. Because Samoa Joe picks up the mic and states, hey, Wendy, you know, AJ Styles isn't the only one making a promise. He's already put to sleep. Walks off. That's absolutely awesome. Gold on the mic. No question, this is going to be inside Hell in a Cell come September 16th. And speaking of September 16th, Hell in a Cell, Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. Now, we had the match tonight, and it ended disqualification. Jeff Hardy losing because he low blowed Randy Orton. The same way Randy Orton low blowed Jeff Hardy when he first re-debuted as the heel tactic, heel viper Randy Orton. This rivalry, this story, this epic, vicious collision between these two superstars needs to go inside a Hell in a Cell. Now, I'm not one to put all the matches, every match inside Hell in a Cell. I think it oversaturates the match. I think it dilutes the value of the Hell in a Cell matchup itself. I've stated it before, but with how this rivalry has become and with how Randy Orton's gimmick is now, and with how Jeff Hardy is fighting back like he did tonight, there's no question this rivalry deserves it. Much more than some of the matches that they're probably going to put inside that cell. So we'll have to see what happens. But that's just my opinion. And that is Smackdown Live tonight. You had the New Day become the new tag team champions. AJ Styles got choked out. Rusev Day picks up the victory. Peyton Royce versus Naomi. The Bar, we're seeing back on TV. It's nice to see the Bar back on TV. I hope they get a shot at the tag team championship very soon against the New Day. Jeff Hardy gets disqualified by low blowing Randy Orton. And of course, as I discussed, the Miz and Maryse will take on Daniel Bryan and Brie at Hell in a Cell. That segment at the beginning brought that matchup at Hell in a Cell in September. Tell me what you're thinking in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, amongst everything else. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.